A content management system is the backbone of your law firm website, and here is why WordPress is the best law firm website content management system. Now, before we dive in, let's talk a little bit about what a content management system is. A content management system, CMS for short, it's a software platform that allows users to create, manage, and modify content on a website without the need for specialized technical knowledge. So think of it, it's like a layer that sits on top of the code, that's the HTML, the CSS, and all the other developer made code underneath. So this is a layer that sits on top and allows non-technical people to add images, photos, create pages, delete pages, add videos, to basically manage all the content of a particular website. Other than that, it's also responsible for processing all the requests and basically serving the content, working with the server and the backend of the backend technologies of the website to serve, and basically has to do with the speed and the security of your website as well as the management of the actual content. So it's a layer that sits between the server and the users, and between the server and the owner of the website, that helps serve the content and also is responsible for helping you easily manage that content. So that's really the essence of a content management system, and it's a powerful tool, and the internet is full with content management systems. So which one do you choose? So I wanted to make this video to explain why WordPress is the best one. So we'll talk a little bit about the advantages and disadvantages, and then why and how I think WordPress can be a powerful tool that is often nowadays overlooked by a lot of law firms. So here are the advantages of WordPress. First of all, it is user-friendly. It has a user-friendly interface, and it's, as I said, it doesn't require any coding skill. You can just log in there, you can drag and drop. There are drag and drop editors for page building, and it's very customizable also. So you can customize it for the specific needs. It can be used for law firms, it can be used for real estate, or for any other niche that you can think of. It's so versatile and it's so big. 1/3 of all the internet is built on WordPress. Is the biggest and most commonly used content management system in the world. And thanks to that, it has an extensive plugin library. So think of it as like the Android of websites. It has a ton of plugins. So for every problem or feature that you might need for your website, you don't need to code it out of scratch and pay thousands of dollars for a developer to develop it specifically for you. Most probably there's already a ready plugin that is cheap or even free that you can get, plug in into your website, install it, and within a couple of minutes you can have that functionality ready on your website. So this is tremendous help for reducing your development costs. Next one is SEO friendly. So there's a ton of, as I mentioned, with plugins. Some of the best SEO plugins like Yoast SEO is specifically designed for WordPress, and they have ready-made out-of-the-box solutions that you can install around SEO, around keyword rank tracking, around link building and link tracking. There are a ton of plugins that you can put in your WordPress site that can help you get better SEO results. Next thing is it's cost effective. As I mentioned, for most of the functionalities, you don't need to develop a custom thing for you. You don't need to go hire developers or work with an agency to design something specifically for you as a functionality. I don't mean like how it looks. I mean like as how it performs. Most of the time, it's already going to be ready for you, so you can just install a plugin, and it's like ready to go. The next one is strong community of support. Because it's a WordPress, it's a open source community. So it's one of the biggest open source communities in the world. So any problem that you might have or technical issue, probably somebody else had it already and has been resolved. Next one is mobile responsive teams. So it's a tremendous library of really good themes that you can use, and they have ready-made templates for different websites, particularly for law firms or for any other business for that matter. But there are teams that even specialize specifically with templates for law firms. And a lot of those teams are so well and precisely built for WordPress, and they have thousands of websites already built on top of these teams that they're very well optimized for speed. Now, particularly we work with Cadence, and for some of our clients, we get speeds for like loading speeds less than 1 second or close to 1.5 seconds for the page load speed. So this is extremely fast websites. Next one is multi-user capability. So as I mentioned, it started as a blogging platform. So usually there will be like magazines that would use that platform in the beginning, WordPress. So they'll have multiple editors. So you can have a layer of editors, of administrators, and then writers, and people that contribute on multiple layers as users within the content framework of your website. So it's very versatile for large teams, and you can specify who can do what and which pages can that person edit and whatnot. And the final one is scalable for firm growth. So basically, the best thing about WordPress is that it's scalable in the sense that you can build a really good website on WordPress, and even if you have to switch marketing agencies and web agencies, the biggest advantage of WordPress is that everybody knows how to work it. Now, you cannot find a good marketing agency that hasn't done some work with WordPress or a web development agency. So this means that as a law firm, you won't be stuck with a custom CMS that was developed specifically for you. You can switch and go to a different provider for your needs very easily, so you cannot be held hostage. Now also let's talk a little bit about disadvantages, because there are some of these as well. First one is security vulnerabilities. Now with WordPress, there are security vulnerabilities if you do not maintain your website. So a lot of people, they'll put in a ton of plugins, they'll install on your website, they're not going to update the website, they're not going to update the plugins for a couple of years, and then eventually this site can get hacked. So it's all about maintenance. Next one is requires regular maintenance. I just mentioned that. Plugin overload can slow the site. So this is another mistake that we avoided at our company when we build our websites. We try to we have pre-custom coded a lot of the functionality, so we do very little reliance on plugins. So this ensures that the websites have less security vulnerabilities and are faster and are easier to maintain. But so potentially less intricate agencies might just overload the site with plugins, and this makes it slow and basically sloppy, and also opens for security vulnerabilities. Next one is customization may need developers' expertise. Sometimes if you have very advanced requests for features, this may require custom coding, very rare, especially with us. Most of the features that a law firm will need for a law firm website is already existent, that can be out-of-the-box solution. Next one is team limitations. I would probably disagree with that one because there are just so many teams, probably thousands. There are actually special marketplaces where you can go and you can buy themes for WordPress. And as I said, our personal favorite is Cadence. It's one of the best themes, in my opinion, from an SEO perspective and technical perspective on the market. But there are thousands of others. There are thousands of web studios and developers that have produced their own themes that can be utilized. Potential compatibility issues with plugins. Again, if you over rely on plugins, this can be an issue. But if you don't, like we do, this can be avoided. Learning curve for beginners, like any CMS, you need some training with your team to learn how to upload articles, how to create paragraphs, how to upload videos, photos, all that stuff. It's not a rocket science, but still it requires a couple of hours of training for people to really get a sense of what they're doing. But I think this applies to any CMS. And the final one is frequently updates required for plugins and themes. Yes, WordPress, it has to be maintained, but I think this applies for any CMS and for any website. If you don't maintain a website, the back end of the website and whatnot, this opens the risk for vulnerabilities and potential hacks. So I think while this applies strongly for WordPress, I would say that this is also the case for any other website. So thank you for listening. That's what I have for you today. Feel free to visit us and get a free consultation. Thank you and bye-bye.